Iconic Kresge College on the UC Santa Cruz campus is slated for a renewal. The project consists of new construction, renovation, and selective removal of buildings.
As part of our reporting on the project, we're producing a podcast series featuring voices of alumni, students, and others to talk about their experiences at Kresge
and their hopes for the renewal project. Do you remember what stood out for you about Kresge?
At first, it was the community environment. People searched out the differences and the diversity in each other.
Students feel like they can be free and independent. They get to make their own decisions.
We had a sense of pride being looked at as like the completely different college.
Arriving here at Kresge, it didn't take very long to feel like home. This is where I belong, and this is where I needed to be.
I met so many different people from so many different backgrounds, a lot of different belief systems. So we would just get into these amazing philosophical debates and discussions all the time.
One thing held in common is the importance of Kresge being a place where people come together and really believe in the power of consensus to determine who we are. Those values will never change about Kresge, and the new Kresge architecture encourages that aspect of our community, more, I think, than we've ever seen before.
Thank you all so much for coming. I know how busy you are. We really appreciate getting your perspective on this emerging design.
The thing that we love feedback on are the social spaces.
Slug support, care, and shop down there.
That's awesome.
And a break room for all of you to share.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the shape of the buildings too.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I feel like it's really important. The renovation is not demolishing it and taking away all of its history, but it's making a better version of itself.
The architects Moore, Linden, Turnbull, Whitaker started designing Kresge College in the late 60s. It was built in 1973. College campuses in the United States were not doing what Kresge was doing. It was a really kind of novel idea, and it was informed very directly by the natural environment. They were thinking about this as an Italian hill town,
where you walk through and none of the lines match up. They're all askew so that you have this nice flowing organic feel through the college. Everything's integrated. Academic space, staff space, and living space all intertwined.
At Kresge, you live where you learn. We value a student-driven education that occurs outside the traditional classroom.
It provided an environment for you to learn and test different parts of your personality, an environment that promoted a lot of experimentation.
The founding provost, Bob Edgar, actually taught a course in which students envisioned the future of Kresge.
There was total participatory democracy. Everyone got a voice. Everybody had their input.
The conversations of that course then moved seamlessly into the process that Charles Moore and William Turnbull began when they took on the task of building Kresge College.
Unfortunately, our college has lived past its lifespan, so we have to do the renewal. We've been working on this for 15 years. We are excited. We are ready to go.
Thinking about how we do that and still be sensitive to the existing architecture is a real challenge, but it's been exciting to be able to think through that.
Whatever was done in the 1970s, we've replicated in our process.
I hope you're redoing the interior of this because I wrote confusing academic maze.
6 to 8 times a year, we've held town halls. We've invited students to be involved in the design committee for Kresge.
Kresge study room that has the down where you have the good, great windows. It's awesome.
We've been really proud of a really deep and broad conversation and cultivating it over many years and to build a really, really remarkable space.
Do you want to share?
Sure.
So I've been here like 10 days. So, so this is like, just figuring it out in a week.
The people who were involved in envisioning Kresge in the mid-70s wouldn't have wanted Kresge to have exactly the same physical features 40 years later, because they would have known that we're an evolving community.
I have changed a lot since I left Kresge, so I think it's okay if Kresge changes too.
Part of the vision of this architecture is a new way of seeing Kresge, a new way of seeing how we are as a community.
So part of the project is to make the bridge accessible, which means we're going to raise it 15 to 20 feet.
There's this direct approach, and as you enter Kresge, there's this transparency and visibility.
I love that as you're crossing into Kresge,
the first thing that you'll see is a proscenium with a new academic building on your right and a student learning center on your left, a space that feels like you've arrived.
I think this is one of the first times when we start to kind of see Kresge as a destination.
Like now the sort of town is growing up, so by virtue of the preservation of the buildings allows this to have the concentration of the old Kresge, whereas there's a concentration of newness at the top of the bridge.
That's a great sense of layering, a sense of getting the best of both kinds of Kresge.
So all in all, you're thinking the renewal project would be good in the long run?
Oh, it'll be fabulous. We're hoping to keep that independent spirit where students can have an opinion and say how they want the college run.
And I would hope that it's still an environment where the students can live, learn, and kind of be social in the same space and kind of play with that, right?
Buildings hold very valuable memories, and there's potentially no other time in your life that is as kind of memorable and formative as your college years. We are hoping that we are absolutely not taking any of that away, but instead improving and adding on to that experience as we move forward.
What's important for me is that students find a connection to this place that will last a lifetime.
Seeing Kresge anew is going to change the way we see ourselves as an institution. It's going to have us holding ourselves accountable to higher values, and it's going to make us approach with more energy all that we could be as a school.